Growing questions tonight about the direction of the Republican Party and how Donald Trump managed to secure his second primary victory over the weekend in South Carolina. Some folks blame President Obama and a general sense of frustration among some voters who may be casting their ballots for the very first time. Others think our next guest can claim credit for fueling Trump's rise, and he just so happens to be Speaker of the House. Congressman Paul Ryan is a Republican out of Wisconsin and current Speaker of the House of Representatives. Great to see you. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, Megan. Good to be back with you.
So there's a piece in the American Thinker where the writer suggests that you have fueled Donald Trump's rise because you are tone deaf to the concerns of Republicans. For example, the budget bill that went through had no money for a border fence. It funded Obama's, quote, executive amnesty program. It allowed funding for the refugee program. It allowed funding for sanctuary cities. And so they say, you don't get it.
Yeah, well, first of all, this is what divided government is. The problem with divided government is you can't get everything you want, number one. Number two, I inherited this mess from the earlier Congress. Everybody kind of knows that this budget bill was done basically before I became Speaker 4 months ago. But we also got some very good conservative wins. We got very good pro-life writers. We got very good writers on the Internal Revenue Service. We got a lot of good conservative wins, and we lifted the 40-year ban on oil exports.
Talking about compromise. We hate compromise. That's why also a lot of people love Ted Cruz. They say, you know, die trying, die trying.
You know what? I find myself giving civics lessons all the time these days. The problem we have
Am I going to get one now?
Maybe a short one.
All right.
2 sentences. For a bill to become a law, it has to pass the House, then the Senate, and then the President has to sign it into law.
Schoolhouse Rock.
And when you have a liberal progressive president who won't sign conservative bills into law, they don't go into law. We put abolishing Obamacare and defunding Planned Parenthood on the President's desk. He vetoed that. We don't have the votes to override that veto. He's vetoed 6 bills we sent to him in the last few months. We don't have the vetoes.
So
we don't have the votes to override those vetoes.
On that point, realistically, if this electorate puts a Republican in the White House and flips the Senate back to the Dems, which a lot of people believe will happen, but the Republicans hold the House, is anything going to change?
So I don't think that's going to happen. If we win the White House, I think we keep the Senate.
You think so?
Yes, I do. And so, but here's the point. And what we are doing in the House is we believe we need to respect the country and respect the moment for what it is. Everything is up for grabs in 2016. Now the Supreme Court's up for grabs. Yeah. Congress is up for grabs, and the presidency is up for grabs. And so the question before us in 2016 is, are we going to reclaim a constitutional republic, or are we going to go down this path of having this liberal progressive welfare state that President Obama has been building? Now, here is what we are going to do in the House. We are going to give an agenda to the country. We're going to roll it out this spring. We're going to have 5 big areas that we think are the big areas that will make or break this country going forward. We're going to lay it out, and we're going to give the people a clear and compelling choice. The way we see our job in Congress. You think people are frustrated? Try being in Congress.
It must be terrible. No, but it must be terrible. When we talk about the approval ratings of congressmen being lower than a cockroach, that's just mean. I mean, that's just, I'm sorry to raise it.
Slightly above bubonic plague.
But how? But that must be very disheartening. I know some members of Congress, and they say it's disheartening to them because they're trying.
It's
but the system is dysfunctional.
But we need the people to break this tie. So what we are going to do this year is take an agenda on economic growth, on getting people out of poverty, on replacing Obamacare and reforming entitlements to prevent them from going bankruptcy and paying off our debt.
What do you mean taking an agenda? I mean, what do you mean?
We're going to offer specific plans. We're going to say, here is what we could do with the Republican president in 2017.
To try to get the voters
If you elect
motivated.
us, this is what we'll do. Because the key, Megan,
Close.
the key, Megan, sorry. I was just talking to Gretchen over there. The key, Megan, is we have to have the people break this tie. We have this divided government, liberal president, conservative Congress. It's not working.
So you don't think anything could get done unless it's one-party rule?
Look at the path we are on. 70% of Americans believe that we're on the wrong path. We have to do big things soon to get our country back on the right track. And so what we're going to do is offer the country
to try to persuade them your ideas.
Try to persuade them.
And I know you're
an idea. Give us a Republican president.
Guy.
Give us a president we can work with.
But
in 2017, we can get this country back on the right track.
You're a policy guy. This seems to be more of a personality-driven election. I mean, that people are gravitating to a different kind of message. Your thoughts on that?
Well, I think we win ideas contests as Republicans. I think we typically lose personality contests. And so, again, that's why we're adding ideas to this. We're going to bring a layer of substance and a foundation of principles and ideas to this campaign so that we can have more of an ideas contest. This is what I wish we had in 2012. You can't wait till the convention. You can't wait till the fall to then roll out your agenda.
What about that?
We have to do it earlier.
Do you think there's a chance of a brokered convention or
I doubt
contested
that.
convention?
I
You don't think that's
so.
good? Because you would have to preside over it as Speaker of the House.
One of the things that I had 6 days notice of taking this job, I learned about that after I took this
This
job.
is not disclosed.
That's right.
Not disclosed. But wait, some of the theories, and I actually found quite a few people pitching this, is that Paul Ryan will be the Republican nominee. That NRO's Fred Schwartz, Roll Call's David Hawkins, and others suggest the way it could happen is they take the first vote, and the pledged delegates vote as they've said they will, and that doesn't go through. Nobody has enough. And then on the second vote, they're allowed to sort of go where they want, and people say, we can't agree on any of these guys. Look at him. He's so handsome.
Thank you.
He's such a nice man. He's trying
that's
so
so
hard.
sweet.
Mitt Romney loved him. Why don't we make him our nominee?
No way, ain't going to happen. First of all, I think you should run for president if you're going to be president. I chose consciously a year ago. My family and I decided not to run for president. I'm not running for president. I'm not going to be the president. It's going to be somebody who's running for president. The point in the House that we're trying to make is believe me, we're frustrated. We see the country slipping. We see the future going away from us. And so we want to put it all on the table and give the country a really clear and compelling choice so we can win a mandate. What we're trying to do is get a 1980 type of election, but for today's circumstances and issues, to get a mandate so we can fix this mess in 2017.
Maybe the clean shave will help. We did a split screen. Check it out. See what you think. I don't know.
So I'm a bow hunter, and I grow a beard every deer season, and no one made a point about this last year when I had a beard.
Did the deers find the beard more scary?
I come from Wisconsin. It's cold. If you're sitting in a tree half the day.
Oh, it's for warmth. You know they have, like, scarves now.
I've heard of those. I've never tried one, though.
Great to see you.
You too, Megan.
Thanks for being here.